We've now covered 4 different engineered romance shows on this channel: a contract marriage, an employer-employee arrangement, a mentorship, and a paid seduction scheme. This is the 5th, and it's also the biggest global hit of all of them, by a massive margin. Today, we're figuring out why. By now, you know exactly how this formula works. 2 people get pushed into a fake relationship for practical reasons, real feelings sneak in, and complications escalate. We've watched this exact blueprint play out across a contract marriage in Perfect Crown, a strict employer-employee dynamic in Dolunay, a doomed mentorship in Yanlış, and a paid scheme in Kiralık Aşk. At this point, you could reasonably ask, does the trope have anything left to show us that we haven't already broken down 4 times over? Sen Çal Kapımı is proof that the answer is yes. Despite running the same broad fake dating framework, this show became one of the single biggest Turkish drama exports in history, licensed in over 100 countries and breaking social media records worldwide. If the baseline structure is this familiar, something else has to be doing the heavy lifting to explain that scale of success. Here's the core insight. This show doesn't rely on a single fake engagement premise to stretch across 52 2-hour episodes. It uses the fake engagement strictly as a launching pad. Once that initial dynamic dissolves into real feelings, the show immediately pivots into an entirely new sequence of conflicts that have nothing to do with the original lie. A stolen design framing scandal, public gossip tearing the female lead apart, an ex-fiancé scheming in the background, and eventually, in Season 2, a brain tumor diagnosis, a multi-year time jump, and the discovery of a hidden daughter. That isn't one secret sustaining a show. That's a chain of completely renewable conflicts, each one picking up the baton right as the last one runs out of steam. Let's break down how the show builds that chain. 1. The backstory gives the central deal real emotional weight. Ada Yıldız lost her parents as a child and was raised by her aunt, who runs a modest flower shop. Ada is top of her class, with her entire future anchored to a scholarship to complete her degree in Italy. When Serkan Bolat's architecture firm cuts international scholarship funding, her degree is revoked, forcing her to drop out. This isn't just a minor inconvenience for Ada, it's the collapse of the one path she had built her identity around. That loss gives her initial hostility towards Serkan genuine weight right from episode 1. 2. The handcuff device is the ultimate forced proximity opener. Rather than spending 3 episodes engineering a complex contract negotiation, the show physically binds its leads together in episode 1. After confronting Serkan at a university presentation and keying his car, Ada impulsively handcuffs herself to him, only to realize the key is missing. They're forced to spend an entire day attached at the wrist, navigating business meetings and press attention. It's a fast, visual, and purely comedic forced proximity hook. You don't need to speak Turkish or understand deep backstories to get the joke of 2 polar opposites handcuffed together, which made these early clips go viral globally. 3. Serkan's motive for the deal is petty, not romantic. Serkan doesn't propose the 2-month fake engagement because he's secretly drawn to Ada. He does it to spite his ex-girlfriend Selin, who just got engaged to a rival. He promises to fund Ida's foreign scholarship if she plays his fiancé to make Selin jealous. Starting your male lead from a place of petty pride gives his character actual room for growth to work through. Much like the messiness we analyzed with Abir in Medically Yours, when Serkan eventually falls for Ada, the transformation feels earned because he started so far from romantic idealization. 4. Simplicity made it easier to export than its competitors. Compare all 5 shows side by side: a corporate contract marriage, a chef-boss dynamic, an advice mentorship, a paid matchmaker scheme, and literal handcuffs. The underlying mechanic in every case is forced proximity. But Sen Çal Kapımı wins on visual clarity. A viewer scrolling social media immediately understands 2 people handcuffed together. That low barrier to entry gave it a massive advantage in international syndication compared to shows requiring heavier contextual setup. 5. The narrative reinvents itself when the lie expires. When the fake engagement inevitably becomes real, most rom-coms hit a wall. Sen Çal Kapımı survives by constantly swapping out its engine. When the engagement lie resolves, the plot shifts to a stolen corporate design framing Ada. When that clears, external family secrets tear them apart. And by Season 2, after a 5-year jump following Serkan's brain tumor recovery, the story transforms into a secret child plot involving their daughter, Kiraz. The lesson here, for long-form TV, a great premise gets viewers through the door, but maintaining a 2-season hit requires a renewable cycle of high-stakes conflict. If you enjoy analyzing how storytelling tropes adapt across different international markets, that's what we specialize in here.